second speaker who will be speaking is Marie-Fille, and she's actually speaking from Spain, live from Spain, not from the Philippines, and is very busy. So we're very lucky to have Marie-Fille make this presentation today. Her presentation title is The Transforming and Humanizing Influence of Education Through Personalized Education of Poveda, Saint Poveda. The presentation focuses on the evangelization approach through the personalized education philosophy of Saint Pedro Poveda, a priest, martyr, founder of the Theresian Association, and a pedagogue of his time. For the members of the Theresian Association, educational centers are considered the most effective way to bring about transformation, humanizing influence, and contributing change and to development, change and development. A little bit about Marie-Fille. She's a member of the Theresian Association, an educator, and currently the director of the Poveda Center for Educators Formation. Has been working in varied pastoral ministries like campus ministry, spiritual direction, and retreat giving. So please, Miho-san, if you could.
はい。はい。それでは3人目の講演者の先生をご案内いたします。ゲオリーナ・マリフィー先生、ポベダ教育者養成センターテレジア協会フィリピンの方でございますが、本日はスペインから講演していただきます。講演のタイトルは、聖ポベダによる個別教育 PEP がもたらす教育による変革と人間化。ご本人様のプロフィールは、テレジア協会の会員、教育者であり、現在、ポベダ教育者養成センターの所長、キャンパス、ミニストリー、スピリチュアルディレクション、リトリート、ギビングなど、様々な私牧活動に従事していらっしゃいます。それではよろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much. And once just to remind everybody, I'd like to thank Yuko-san and Adelph-san who are providing interpretation today for Marie-Fille-san. So thank you very much. And with that, Marie-Fille-san, dozo and welcome.
Thank you. Good day to all. As an educator, I feel privileged to share a topic close to my heart with you. I believe you are here today because, as members of the Catholic Church, you truly believe that evangelization through education is a strong force that will bring change and transformation to every society and people. We Catholic Christians are constantly called to be evangelizers. I believe that our Holy Mother Church always desires to strengthen her evangelizing mission. For centuries, there have been multiple initiatives and programs aimed at making us effective bearers of the good news of Jesus to the modern world. Pope Francis said, "The education of children and young people is important in forming them as free and responsible human beings. It affirms their dignity as an inalienable gift that flows from our original creation as children made in the image and likeness of God." And because education truly forms human beings, it is especially the duty and responsibility of the Church, which is called to serve mankind from the heart of God and in such a way that no other institution can. Christian families, parishes, and Catholic schools are the very heart of the new evangelization. They are instruments of grace and sacred places where the gospel comes alive daily and where children and families encounter the faith. It is no exaggeration to say that the world is becoming increasingly secular. Providing young people with an integral education in the faith is still one of the most urgent internal challenges facing the Catholic Church today. Allow me to invite you to do a faith reading on the current state of education globally and on our Asian continent. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought numerous challenges, threats, and unexpected opportunities to the global education sector. As we reconstruct our lives in the response to the pandemic's impact, it's evident that education plays a crucial role in this renewal process. On January 24, 2024, during the 6th International Day of Education, the UN, the United Nations, underscored the vital role of educational institutions in instilling values such as tolerance, coexistence, and respect for diversity, which are essential for creating a harmonious and peaceful world. According to the United Nations, over 244 million children and adolescents worldwide do not have access to schooling, and a staggering 617 million lack basic literacy or numeracy skills. The situation is particularly dire for female in sub-Saharan Africa, where fewer than 40% complete primary education. Moreover, an estimated 4 million refugee children and teenagers are being denied their rights to education, exacerbating the issue. The widespread denial of education violates human rights and is wholly unacceptable. Without comprehensive, equitable, and high-quality education opportunities for all, achieving gender equality and eradicating poverty will remain elusive, leaving millions excluded and neglected. I am very sure you recall a close-to-home experience while listening to me. So should be our response to this disheartening education crisis? Since Vatican II, Catholics have been called to a renewed evangelization. Renewed evangelization, a constant call of the Church to evangelize by educating and educate by evangelizing. The Gospel of Matthew said, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." In other words, by virtue of our baptismal consecration, we Catholics have the responsibility to be bearers of the good news of Jesus. Evangelization, as we all understand, comes from the Latin word evangelium, which means good news. Educational centers and schools are supposed to be places of evangelization, bearers of good news to all people. And the field of education remains to be the source of values formation and transformation for individuals and cultures. However, the right to education remains a significant global issue affecting people and nations. We Christians are also confronted with these alarming realities, such as the dwindling of basic faith formation in homes. The dichotomy between faith and life is now much renowned for the dehumanizing values originating from globalization. A secular world suspicious of the spiritual and religious, and dominated by atheism, consumerism, and relativism. The world needs a word of hope, an optimism contained in the message proclaimed by the gospel. That is why we are challenged to evangelize in words and action to counter the pessimism that results from being caught in the dualism created by modernity. We are supposed to be bearers of the good news of Jesus in every human situation. Pope Francis, even in the height of the pandemic in May 2020, launched an initiative known as the Global Compact of Education, aimed to foster a renewed commitment to the education of children and youth, not only in the classroom but also in the family and in the community. Let us watch this.
In un momento di estrema frammentazione, di estrema contrapposizione, c'è bisogno di unire gli sforzi, di far nascere un'alleanza educativa per formare persone mature, capaci di vivere nella società e per la società. Un proverbio africano recita che per educare un bambino serve un intero villaggio, ma dobbiamo costruirlo, questo villaggio, tutti insieme, per educare i bambini, per educare il futuro. Dobbiamo fare in modo che in questo villaggio nasca una convergenza globale per un'alleanza tra gli abitanti della terra e la casa comune, affinché l'educazione sia creatrice di pace, di giustizia, sia accoglienza tra tutti i popoli della famiglia umana, nonché di dialogo tra le loro religioni. Dobbiamo avere il coraggio di formare persone disponibili a mettersi al servizio della comunità. Serve un patto educativo globale che ci educhi alla solidarietà universale, a un nuovo umanesimo. Cerchiamo insieme di trovare soluzioni, avviare i processi di trasformazione senza paura.
Our world is beset with the decelerating circumstances. We Christians must be instruments of love and hope. We need to convey a positive and strong message. If we want to transform the world, we must contribute to effect change and be faithful and joyful evangelizers. The same zeal for evangelization drove Saint Pedro Poveda to contribute to the education's transforming and humanizing influence during his era. Given the same restlessness to live his Christian faith to the fullest and impelled by the Holy Spirit, Saint Pedro Poveda gave witness to the faith by using education as a tool to help transform society. In the early 20th century, Spain was at a social and religious crossroads. As a priest, Poveda thought about the changes that society necessitated and saw that it was time for Christianity to be a transforming presence, a new idea at the time. Pedro Poveda is a Spanish diocesan priest, founder of the Teresian Association, educator and humanist. He lived the reality of secularism, modernity, and faith and science debate, the role of lay people in both church and society, and the place of women in social advancement through education and culture. I might say that Poveda's time is somewhat like the society we are in today. Poveda's evangelizing initiative started when he saw the disheartening situation of the gypsies living inside the caves of Guadix in the southern part of Spain. They were deprived not only of basic needs, but their dignity as human beings was also ignored. Impelled by his passion to make Jesus' face known and experienced by these children, he started his educational project for the cave dwellers. From his educational project, we can consider a means of evangelization in his time. He also opened the path for him to gather and form committed Christian educators that paved the way to the foundation of a lay association, the Teresian Association. The members are men and women with intense inner life, immersed in a worldly context whose place was with others, in ordinary structures, especially in education and culture. As ordinary lay people in society, we live our daily professional responsibility by exuding the face of Jesus in fulfilling our work in the Christian witness of our words and action. Our vocation is the raison d'etre of our educational centers. It is faithful to its foundational commitment to developing persons, promoting human values, and transforming society, taking the incarnation of Christ as its inspiring vision. What kind and climate of education are we creating following the personalized education philosophy of our founder? According to St. Pedro Poveda, let us educate in a Christian way, seriously, reasonably, and solidly. The education offered in Teresian school has an axis underlying everything: to educate in a Christian way, seriously, reasonably, and solidly, and to achieve this by linking up the academic and teaching aspects, educational processes, and the Christian evangelizing dimension. PEP gives from importance to the holistic development of every student. Just like any other place of learning, our schools are up to date in teaching methods and procedures and offer quality education. A milieu that promotes intellectual development and value formation. In a climate of freedom, encouraging dialogue and participation by all. Places where reference to Catholic Christian faith and living is nurtured. Pedro Poveda insists further, for there should be not a single classroom in which any teacher coming from our center does not bring a note of virtue, a love of study, propriety, and exquisite manners, because I have always understood and continue to believe today that if students and teachers had a living faith, they would be virtuous, faithful to their duties, and edifying piety. Furthermore, the educational centers and projects came into being to bring God into human culture in a context even then driven by secularizing tendency that has grown far stronger today. In both past and present TA education, importance is given to goals, processes, teaching methods, innovation, and staff or educator formation. Likewise, great importance is attached to the community dimension in education, shown in teamwork, since education must be planned and carried out by the teaching body committed to the educational ethos of the center and reliant always on the support and collaboration of parents. The PEP educational principles emanate from this thinker and priest, Pedro Poveda, who discovered in the Christian faith that the secret of true humanism, the key to his philosophy of education, or PEP, is first and foremost focused on the individual learning as a person with unique characteristic, learning capabilities, concerns, dispositions, and motivations. In other words, it is the person of the learner or the student that becomes the center of the learning climate in the PEP. Thus, the PEP learner is given different opportunities to learn on his or her own through the individual work cards. This helps them discover their concepts, develop their own ideas and understanding, and formulate questions that they can ask their teachers for clarification. PEPs led to critical and insightful thinking through the encounter periods, the schedule when they have their classes in different subjects. This is the venue where what was individually learned is affirmed or corrected through group or class discussions, and the PEP educator facilitates such experience. PEP is provided with a safe space to make mistakes, process such mistakes, learn from them, and use such learning to become a better individual, student, or friend. Each person is guided as he or she learns and practices important emotional, social, and life skills. During IW, their work is constantly given feedback by the teacher until they are able to learn the concepts presented and the skills taught. It is the process of learning and discovery along with other life skills that is given emphasis in individual work and encounter periods. It provided with opportunities to learn and discover one's gifts and use these gifts to continue to contribute towards the betterment of the community or society he or she is part of. PEP aims for holistic development where the process of learning is as important as the concepts being learned. It aims to develop students who will be cognizant of her surroundings and the world she lives in and will act and contribute towards a better society to helping others and leading others. PEP aims for the overall well-being of our students. Thus, formation covers all aspects of one's personality molded by Christian values and the Povedan values that make them unique. The dignity of the person is always a primary consideration in her learning journey. As a whole, PEP makes sure that the different attributes of an individual learner, intellect, compassion, and ability to work, are developed holistically by bringing to the fore their uniqueness and by guiding them to learn to be as fully human individuals, yet remembering that one's personhood stems from the Creator. Do, applying classroom knowledge to real-life situations. No, continue learning formally and informally as one goes through life. Live together, accepting and practicing diversity to make the lives of others better. However, the PEP experience may not be completed without the committed role of the Povedan educator. They are the forefront in the practice and conduct of PEP. The educator forms learners into fully integrated individual, aids students in bringing out their potential and their love for lifelong learning, gives inspiration while facilitating the learning of their students, provide new and meaningful learning experiences as she or he stays updated with the latest development in the educational landscape. Considering the vast challenges of the educative landscape threatened by the multiple effects of globalization, the Teresian Association came up with a document entitled Mission of the Educational Centers of the Teresian Association. Let us unpack this together in order for us to appreciate all the more the gem of PEP. First, educational nearness. Pedro Poveda was above all a person of faith, and his commitment to education sprung from his Christian experience. In the Gospel, he discovered the values of educational nearness, which demands that educators take on a variety of roles, knowing the context and daily lives of the students, giving warm personal attention to each one, discovering the social and educational needs, finding possibilities and opportunities to help in a warm, friendly human atmosphere, listening to their expectations, hopes, and fears. Second, an education inspired by love. Pobeda's educational program embodied a practical and effective commitment to respond to the socio-cultural challenges of the context, something he carefully analyzed and worked to transform. For this, education as the best service to offer the individual and society. He started from the conviction that each person carries within a treasure that education must uncover and bring to light. To bring this about, an educational atmosphere was needed, like that found within a family. Joy, simplicity, and participation were also typical of these schools, making learning attractive to children and young people. A close rapport between teachers and students enables students to be themselves, which is necessary for teachers to get to know them and be able to educate them. Pobeda proposed a form of education with methods and procedures inspired by love, one which allows students to develop and express their feelings, take special care of disadvantaged students, brings out gifts often unknown to the processor, and seeks the right moment to intervene educationally. Next, the Gospel, an essential compass. The distinctive nature of our center consists of their Catholic Christian inspiration with Povedan emphasis and characteristics. Their first reference and critical model are derived from the values of the Gospel. Our option of choosing the Gospel as a reference for our way of living, as Poveda did and asked of us, leads us to recreate in our educational context the style and of relationships Jesus showed with his contemporaries: respectful, patient, communicative, attentive to the individual, freely giving, and compassionate. This option gives a clear focus to our education. The option for the individual person, giving priority to the less successful, the disadvantaged, and the more vulnerable students, those in most need. In the Gospel, we find hope-filled reasons for living true humanism and discover the face of God ever compassionate to the human person. A person's growth towards human maturity as a relational being depends on an educational community where, along with many other formative activities, the story of Jesus is told. His way of relating to the men and women of his time, his preference for the last and least, his forgiveness of enemies. It is a story we must both live and tell. Human life lived to the full. A fundamental conviction in Poveda's humanism and educational vision is that a relationship with the God of Jesus Christ is vital to those who seek to live human life to the full. Aware of their own dignity and personal autonomy, taking responsibility for themselves, others, and nature. Far from diminishing and uniqueness of each one, this relationship motivates and encourages the human person from within, developing all the good in each one and all he or she can achieve in life. Poveda insists on the urgency of witnessing to the faith and confessing Christ in all areas of life, including school and academic life, so that students come to know and experience what he considers human life to the full. He's not only taking of coherence between words and deeds, but also the urgent need for witnessing the meaning that guides the whole life of the Christian, even though this may at times bring difficulty and understanding. Those who witness to faith must be aware of the sociocultural context in which they act if their witness is to have meaning, and to be warmly and intellectually open to today's world, plural in its beliefs, values, and ways of understanding existence and history. Dialogue with faith and knowledge. Aware of human frailty, Poveda conceived education as a task demanding nearness, affection, companionship, and guidance. For this, he relied on well-qualified teachers who were aware of the student's social context, work as a team in a spirit of joy with fortitude and love, and who were in constant contact with him to understand and support his project, making it their own. To fulfill this responsibility, Pedro Poveda asked the teachers working in his centers to put into action the best teaching methods and their best personal qualities, to be highly professional, and to have a best sense of vocation for this service. He also encouraged them to come to know and love Jesus Christ, to discover in him a model and a guide for the education they were offering. All the above-mentioned educational principles of St. Pedro Poveda made the formation of the students and centers and educators in our centers distinct and singular from others. Hopefully, it will become a transforming and a humanizing influence through the recipient of Poveda's principle, and in a larger scale, contribute to the transformation of our society. After all, as baptized Catholics, our sole mission here on earth is to know, love, and serve God. And how to put that into concrete action? By becoming an evangelizer in our humble and creative ways. May we all have a grace-filled day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marifi. Thank you very, very much for a wonderful presentation. And it's great to hear about the wisdom of St. Poveda and your wonderful work and experiences and insights. So well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Miho-san.
ありがとうございます。今のやはり創立者の方の信仰の人、一人一人のまた持っている信念から一緒に協力してミッションできるっていうのは本当にすごい力になりますよね。そしてまた貧しい方たちがその教育を受けて本当に力になって変わっていくとやっぱり国も変わっていくし、その効果と成果が見れるっていうのは非常に嬉しいことですよね。キリストの愛によって変化されていくっていうのはやっぱりまさに教育ってお母さんの口から、そしてみんなが子どもたちを教育していくっていうのは本当に国の大きな力になると思うので、皆様のこれからの働きも楽しみにしております。